U.S. diplomats evacuated from China amid fears they were hit by a sonic attack. The U.S. has admitted evacuating several citizens from China after they showed symptoms suggesting they had come under sonic attack. Last month, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said U.S. government employees in China suffered brain injuries linked to abnormal sounds resembling still unexplained injuries suffered by American and Canadian diplomats in Cuba last year. Now the American embassy in China has sent its second alert in 2 weeks to citizens warning of unexplained health issues that have prompted a number of U.S. government employees working at a consulate in a southern city to be moved back to the U.S. Friday's alert urged Americans to seek medical help in the event they suffered any unusual, unexplained physical symptoms or events, auditory or sensory phenomena, or other health concerns. The alert comes as a U.S. medical team is screening more Americans who work at the consulate in Guangzhou. State Department spokeswoman Heather Nauert said a number of individuals had been brought to the U.S. but did not say how many were affected or evacuated. Friday's alert called for people to be attentive of symptoms including dizziness, headaches, tinnitus, fatigue, cognitive issues, visual problems, ear complaints and hearing loss, and difficulty sleeping. It urged them not to attempt to locate the source of any unidentified auditory sensation. Instead, move to a different location. The U.S. government declared the Cuba incidents to be specific attacks on American workers but has not publicly identified a cause or culprit. Most of the incidents were accompanied by bizarre, unexplained sounds that initially led U.S. investigators to suspect a sonic attack. Asked about the latest incidents, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Hua Chunying said on Thursday that the U.S. had not formally raised the matter with Beijing. If the U.S. makes formal contact with us, China will continue necessary investigations in an earnest and responsible manner and maintain close communication and cooperation with the U.S., Hua said at a regularly scheduled news conference. China earlier said it had looked into the case announced last month but came up with no clues about the cause of the symptoms. The preliminary findings of the medical reports on the 24 personnel affected in Cuba showed they had sensory and memory problems similar to the brain dysfunction seen with concussions. In April, Canada also ordered families of diplomatic staff in Cuba to return home after mysterious health symptoms were detected in 10 Canadians stationed on the island. Canada said the 10 continued to show unexplained brain symptoms and that medical information raised concerns for a new type of a possible acquired brain injury. London violence reaches new low as woman, 90, is attacked in her own bed. Can you see the real alligator just feet away from boy playing with plastic one? Emirates to launch windowless planes to make them lighter and faster. In testimony before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee last month about the first case in China, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said China had said all the right things and have demonstrated their willingness to help us identify the vector which led to this medical incident. The China incidents affect one of the most important of the 7 U.S. diplomatic outposts in the country. The Guangzhou consulate opened months after the establishment of diplomatic relations between Beijing and Washington in 1979 and moved to its new purpose-built facility in 2013. It serves 4 southern provinces with a combined population of more than 204 million and processes more than 1 million visa applications of all types annually. More, Putin could destroy UK and America without using new invulnerable hypersonic nuclear weapons, military analyst warns.